Hey buddy, Lynna here, and I am outside and sitting on my wonderful little balcony here in Hendersonville. And Jenny's hard at work slaving over there and working really, really hard. And I'm just here, sitting here, kind of in between jobs, don't really know exactly where I'm going to go. Don't really know exactly where I'm gonna be, but I'm here, and I'm just like kind of in a state of flux right now. So um, we have at least another month here in um, in this apartment where we've been living, but yeah, I just thought I'd do a bigger shot so you guys could see, well, you could see me and then you could see outside, so it's kind of bright and everything, but, just mix it up, change it up, instead of like holding it all the time, having your face like squeezed like right in the middle of it like that, where everybody like sees your face, you can just kind of sit back, relax, and just, talk or whatever. So, yeah, it's like it's probably almost noon here, and we're just we're just here at the apartment again. I mean, it's like we know everybody or something because we know everybody's habits and stuff of where they go when the guy that has the monster truck is going to be leaving, and when he comes home, or or the guy on the motorcycle, or it just gets to be that way when you're sitting here for too long, right? But it's okay. Life is like that, and sometimes you have to, just roll with the punches, right? So right now, the plan is, Jenny's like just like right there, and I can see her right out the window, and she is getting ready to go to California, and I am ready to go. I don't know where, because I have not yet decided completely. Um, the crazy thing is that the options that I have are not the greatest, but they're there. Just put it that way. They're there. But what happened is, I have a really good friend that I've known for a little while, for a year at least, over a year. And she's a trans woman who is transitioning as well as me, just like me. And she's always offered me a place to stay, if I ran into any situations that I needed help and stuff like that. And well, I guess I've hit that point, and she offered last year, and she offered again this time, and she lives in just outside of north of Dallas, Texas, in a small community, and she's offered me to go there and just to kind of regroup myself and just refigure what I'm gonna do, what I want to do, what I don't want to do, and to live there at no cost to me, but see what happens, right? Because first I have to get there, and it costs money to travel, and it costs money to to live, really. So I'd have to get a job and all that other stuff. And as trans people, we always have these journeys that we have to get on every now and then in order to survive. And I know that a lot of you will understand what I'm talking about, that we have to kind of uproot ourselves from where we were and go somewhere else, and it's just part of our life, and until we get stabilized, and unless our job really is able to accept us as trans people and as women, then we have to do what we have to do to survive. So hence, that's why Jennifer is going to California, and why I may be going to Dallas. The other option that I had, and it's not as good of an option for me in the short term, but in the long term it is actually a better option, is to move to back to the cold north of Minnesota. And I mean, I'd like to move to a place where I can work, you know, and that's what Minnesota is. It's a place where I can actually work. I did pick up about 5 days of work there in the month of July, and it's with a former client, and they're gonna, you know, hire me and my equipment to do camera work like I've, you know, always done all my life. But I just don't have a place to live. So, I mean, here we are, we get work, but we don't have a place to live. And I have this rent here for this place that I've had since November. And I have the mortgage at my house. It's like 25 minutes away from here, that my ex and my kids live at and stuff. And I have to pay for that too. So I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place. And the rock is kind of crushing me right now, and the hard place is getting harder and harder to deal with. So that's why we're leaving here, because my time, my opportunity here in Nashville has pretty much kind of dried up. Around summertime is when work really gets slow, and the client that I used to have, even they got slow in the summertime. So I used to live off of, like, you know, maybe like a teacher, you know, in the summertime they get the time off, and they're, you know, going wherever and stuff like that. During the summer, you know, they'll go on vacation or whatever, right? Whatever teachers do, and they have the summers off. Well, I used to have kind of the summers off, and then around fall time, September, that's when my big client would get back geared up. The new fiscal year, they would start doing more products and more video series and things like that. And then that's when my hockey would pick up on the other side, and then I'd get like maybe a football date, you know, and I'd get like, you know, sports would start coming back in November with basketball, and then stuff would just kind of, you know, work out. But given the fact that it's not possible to work for the people that I was doing work for, especially doing video series and things like that. So now I'm kind of dependent on my sports stuff, and well, sports stuff isn't happening here in the city of Nashville, Tennessee. Let's just put it that way. The only thing that's probably going on is I don't know, AAA baseball, I think, is going on, but they don't televise anymore. So that leaves me in a bind. And I used to do a lot of entertainment. Used to do a lot of music videos, country music, rock and roll, working with artists, EPKs, they're called electronic production card, or I forget, however. But it was basically kind of an upcoming artist's, basically their demo reel, or their, you know, like a model has their portfolio with their images and stuff like that in it, and this is what is what an EPK was. But I don't get any work doing that anymore. I don't get calls from any clients to do that, and you know, I'm just kind of, you know, if Nashville's not gonna want me, then I don't want Nashville, you know, quite honestly. The biggest reason that I even came out here was for my client downtown Nashville called Lifeway, and you know, they've rejected me, so I can't. Honestly, I had a friend, and I really thought that he was going to be my friend throughout the whole thing, you know, even though he doesn't agree with me. But he chose to not you know, keep up with me anymore, and he basically has, you know, not responded to any of my texts or any of my voicemails, any of my phone calls, or anything at all. It's like I don't exist, you know, and that's the one thing that is really kind of, you know, it just really is kind of a bummer, and it is kind of hurtful because, you know, people that you thought that you had, you know, to be your friend through the thick and thin, you know, even a friend of mine recently texted me on my other Facebook page, which used to be my guy page, and he's like, you know, I really don't know what to say. You want me to walk alongside you and stuff and just agree or just accept you? And he's like, my religion, my beliefs don't allow me to do that, and, you know, I just can't. And it's like, you know, it makes me think, okay, so this is Christianity. Let me get this right. As long as you fit the mold, as long as you agree with what that person is doing with their life, you can be accepted. And the moment that you slip out of that little, you know, track that you're going down, you know, that little trail that's supposed to be like where you're supposed to be on, and that other person is, as long as you're on that track, you're okay. But once you jump off the track and you're in the woods somewhere, or you're on another trail going somewhere else, but it's going up or to a more prettier place, well, you're not accepted at that point, and you're kind of like left at, you know, well, you're different. So my Bible says that different people aren't to be communicated with. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just ignore you, and that's how I'm going to show you my Christian love. I'm going to say, all right, you are no longer a person worthy of my life and my time. Although I knew you before, I don't know you anymore. Which brings me to my mom. Okay, so my mom, she's a sweet lady. She's almost going to be 81 in July, and she is a sweet woman, and I love her to pieces and everything. But she won't see this. She won't see my face. She only wants what she had. She doesn't want what she has now. And that's where, you know, the problem lies, is that you know, I'm me now. I'm Lynna. And she tells me, I don't even know who this Lynna is. You know, I mean, I had a boy. He had a penis. I mean, I don't have a girl, and I only have one girl. And she's been my daughter ever since, you know, and you've always been my boy, and I don't understand, but I love you. And I'm like, well, okay, Mom, great, you love me. You love me as what you accept. You don't love me as the person that I have become, you know. I mean, she listens to my voice, she hears me talk, and honestly, guys, my voice hasn't really changed that much. You know, I just haven't. It hasn't. It's always been kind of middle of the road. It's always been kind of like androgynous in a way, you know, because I never really like had a really high voice and, you know, talk like this or anything. And I never had a really low voice that talked really low. I just always had a middle of the road voice. And you know, I mean, people would say it was a guy, you know, I mean, but, you know, I don't know. I mean, whatever people's opinion is about my voice right now, it's just the way it is. And unless I go through some major therapy, or if I go to cut my vocal cords or whatever and trim the vocal something or whatever, it's not going to change. And I like to sing. And I don't like to lose I don't want to lose my voice necessarily. So that's what kind of scares me about even getting a tracheal shave, is that, you know, could potentially lose your voice, as far as like a singing voice and stuff. So my mom hears me, right? She hears what I'm saying. She has heard my story since I was since last year, when I told her that I was transgender, and I told her that this stuff was going to start happening, and that I was going to pursue womanhood, and I was a girl in a guy's body and all this other stuff that people, you know, have a real hard time with understanding. And you know, I warned her and I told her, and she basically said, I don't believe it. I don't think it's real. I don't think this stuff is really happening, you know. And I'm like, Mom, it is. It's happening. Believe it. And she's like, no, Polly, I don't believe that you are a girl because you never show any sign of it. And I'm like, Mom, it doesn't matter that I showed you a sign of it. The fact is that I knew from a young age and I hid it. She's like, oh no, you not hide anything. You just be taking hormones and your body change, and you know, you did it to yourself because your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and you need to really keep it from changing because you're a boy. I'm like, Mom, okay, let's just be honest here, okay? All right. And I just want honesty from everybody, okay? I mean, just give me honesty. If you want to comment on this video, comment about this. Is this the body of a boy? I mean, seriously, look at me. Look at my eyes and my face and my arms, and I mean, you know, it's not. It's not. And you know, for her to live this fantasy world where she thinks that, you know, I'm still some kind of cross-dresser sitting around trying to, you know, to look good in women's clothing, well, those days are over, you know? I mean, the reality is this. I'm a woman. The reality is this. I am going to officially, legally change my name along with Jennifer on June 2nd, and we will no longer be known as male names. We've already changed our identifications, you know, our licenses and stuff, and they reflect an F, and yay! So, you know, we're excited about that for sure, but you know, things are just not as they would want them to be, you know? I mean, family or friends or anybody, I mean, they need to get a dose of reality and realize that this is the point of no return. And this is where we end up becoming what we always wanted to be. And, you know, our joy is being fulfilled and our healing is taking place now, and our liberty is being given to us now by being able to be the women that we always were. Now, I mean, they don't understand that. They think that, you know, we like drank the wrong Kool-Aid or something, or that we allowed something to enter into our lives or anything like that. They don't think that maybe God did give us the liberty and the gift of being able to be women as a liberty in order to successfully go about life, you know, and to be happy and everything. But it falls on deaf ears, you know, it really does. It just doesn't amount to anything, because they end up just saying, you know, hey, I liked you the way you were. So what if you were fat? So what if you were sad? So, but I never saw you sad. You know, it's like, you don't get it. You just don't get it, you know.